gentlemen, welcome to Port Royal for the penultimate race of Pennsylvania Speedweek 2025. We've got a 20,000 to win show here tonight. I'm with my buddy Caleb Newland, and we just finished time trials. I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about what happened with the 2 flights of time trials for 42 entries tonight.
In time trial group 1, Ryan Smith went quickest, and behind him was DeWeese, Danny Dietrich, Freddie Raymer, and Hartlaub. In time trial group 2, Wagaman went quick time after changing a motor, and second was Brock Zierfoss, third Dominic Malaire. He was followed by Alex Attar, Brady Bacon, and Torgerson was 5th originally, but he was light at the scales.
There's your time trials rundown, and we're getting ready for the national anthem and the rest of the show. Thank you, Caleb, for helping out with time trials. We are now doing our track walk, which is sort of a tradition our friend group does after the race. We come out, just check out what went down, see what the track kind of looks like, the evolution. So kind of helps us paint a picture of what happened during the race. Anyway, we had 4 heat races. The first one saw Danny Dietrich on the pole, and he got the early lead. This was a stacked heat race, including cars like the Kreitz 69K. We saw Logan Wagner, Brent Marks, Cam Smith, just cars we thought and expected to see doing well. Ryan Smith hustled Garrett Bard for second at the start, but he couldn't get it done. And then by lap 4, it was single file. There were 2 lines being used in the corners, but the field was spread out, so nothing really exciting happened there. Danny Dietrich won over Garrett Bard, Ryan Smith, Blaine Heimbach, and Logan Wagner. In heat race number 2, we saw Freddie Raymer on the pole. Anthony Macri had a gigantuous lead off of the first lap, and then after that it was super single file, like not even just single file. Anthony Macri won heat race number 2 over Freddie Raymer, Lance Deweese, Chase Dietz, and Mike Walter. In heat race number 3, we saw Alex Attard and Preston Latimus on the front row. Brock Zierfoss went from 4th to 1st in the first turn with a huge run in through those corners. Ashton Torgensen had to start last because of that penalty for going too light in time trials. Slowly picked people off after starting last and got all the way up to 6th place with 1 lap to go. Didn't get any further than that. Had tried. Was exciting to watch. Brock Zierfoss won over Preston Latimus, Troy Wagaman, Mike Wagner, and Alex Attard got the final transfer. In heat race number 4, it was Brady Bacon on pole with Austin Bishop starting to his outside, and Bishop took the early race lead. 4th and 5th saw a nice little battle between Mark Smith and Dominic Malaire, and then on lap 3, we saw Tyler Walker ride the wall on the outside of turns 1 and 2. He broke a tie rod in the front end of that car and got down to the other end of the track. Yellow flag came out for that. Off of the restart, Justin Whittle challenged for second, didn't get much more out of it, and we saw Doug Hammaker make a pass for the last transfer spot. So Austin Bishop won heat race number 4 over Brady Bacon, Justin Whittle, Mark Smith, and Doug Hammaker. That took us into a 12-lap B main. We saw 2 very strong cars on the front row for that, Lucas Wolf and Brent Marks. Gerard McIntyre had a huge run into turn number 1 the first time. He got himself all the way up to 1st, but we had to come back because Devin Adams spun in that first turn. So off of the second time starting the B main, we saw a little battle for second, and then after that, the transfers spread out. We had a spirited battle between Ryan Newton and Steve Buckwalter for 7th place, and that lasted throughout most of the B main. With 4 laps to go, Brent Marks caught Lucas Wolf at the front, and then with 2 to go, we saw Ryan Newton pull off the track, and then a last ditch pass in turn 1 for the lead. Brent Marks won the B main over Lucas Wolf, Dominic Malaire, and a last minute move put Jeff Halligan in the final transfer spot. Then we got to the 30-lap A main, and Lance Deweese drew the pole, and that ended up working out pretty well for him. Spoiler alert. Austin Bishop started second. We saw a great start for Lance Deweese. We also saw a really good start for Troy Wagaman, who was buried deep in the Hefner number 27. Austin Bishop held second for about 4 laps before Anthony Macri and Danny Dietrich got through. And then on lap 7, we had a yellow. We saw Wagaman and Blaine Heimbach stop on the front stretch. Heimbach got out of his car, claimed that, from what I heard, he got hit with a rock, and he fortunately didn't lose consciousness or anything. He was able to stop and get medical attention, and as far as I know, he's okay. Hope for the best for him. He got proper medical attention. I assume they took him out of here. Off of the restart, which was really good for Macri, we didn't see a ton of racing outside of Macri getting a good run in to be in contention. With 17 laps left in the race, Anthony Macri crossed Lance Deweese for the lead and took it over. Macri led at the halfway point, and that was also when we hit lap traffic for the first time. With 12 laps to go, we noticed that the track was more slicked off, more rubbered in. The RPMs went down on the cars, and then Macri had a huge lead that Deweese just couldn't pick it up in the lap traffic. With 9 laps to go, a yellow came out with Mark Smith stopping on the front stretch, and that proved crucial to Lance Deweese. Off of the restart, we saw a cross for the lead, and Deweese got back up. He didn't take the lead that time, but with 8 laps to go, he did. And then we had a yellow for Alex Adder, Jesse's brother. Deweese held the lead off of the restart, and we saw Chase Dietz get all the way up to 6th place at that point in time. But at that point, and as Seth behind the camera can show you, on the track, it was rubbered in and slicked off. And when it's rubbered in and slicked off, if you've been in PA, you know that's Lance Deweese's territory. So the last 5 laps of the race didn't see any real contention, except a lot of fans cheering as Lance Deweese won the race tonight over Anthony Macri, Ryan Smith, Justin Whittle, and Danny Dietrich rounded out the top 5. Rest of your top 10 on the screen here. Credit to Matt Faust, and also thanks to him, here are your updated points after all but one race in PA Speedweek. There's a 35-point gap in between Anthony Macri and Danny Dietrich at the top of the board, and we'll have to see if there's any chance for Danny to do something tomorrow night at Path Valley, which I have never been to that racetrack, so I'm excited to be there. I love Port Royal. It is probably my favorite dirt track on the planet. It is a fantastic facility, and it was a great race tonight. We had Seth from Big Motor Small Blade, who's holding the camera right now, here for his first time. He said he liked it. I hope he did. I hope he wasn't blowing smoke. Shout out to Caleb for helping me with time trials, Dylan for holding the camera, Nate Dogg, and Matt Faust Matt did the graphics and whatnot, and then we had Hunter and Ed and just a whole bunch of friends here. It was a great time. So hopefully y'all enjoyed the video, and we've got one last one in store for you from Path Valley tomorrow night. That is going to be a far drive, and I hope it's worth it. I've been hearing it will be, but that's it for tonight. We'll see you at Path Valley next time.